J.K. Rowling apparently has ratioed Nyara VT.
Oh wow, incredible! A multimillionaire rationed YouTuber, a small YouTuber. Incredible achievement. Oh, she got cooked bad. A bestseller multimillionaire author ratioed a small YouTuber on Twitter. Incredible achievement. Who would have known?
This is the latest news that just came out. So we have Nyara with a post here. So this is like kind of let's like go into this. Okay, so Nyara's like first post here is a serious question. Who does this help? Literally excluding young girls from activity. Okay, so let's read the original post first, okay? Pink News reports girl guiding. What the hell is that? What the hell is girl guiding? The hell is that? Girl guiding will no longer allow trans young people to join its scouting groups under new updates to its inclusion policies. The group...
Yeah, we're doing inclusion policies by excluding people. Make it make sense, please. Do you dream in English? Depends. If I dream about English speakers in my life, then yes, I dream in English. If I dream about the English speakers that I know in my life, then yes. Because then I speak English with them. I had a few dreams in Japanese as well. As an ex-VTuber, I want answers from you, Lucy. Oh, I mean, there is a person creating a VTube avatar for me, so I might return to VTubing. Bushu, 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 bushu. Bushu, 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 bushu. Why? I don't know, it might be fine to do some VTubing. It's not? Yeah, let's continue watching this vlog. Do you see Fido? Do you see it? Oh no, you cannot see it. The browser is too big, you know? Oh yeah, he's big. You're on the floor, I'm on a mattress. Right, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's watch this up.
Which is previously... Is this like the Girl Scouts? It's a UK version of the Girl Scouts, okay. The group, which was previously known as Girl Guides, announced on the 2nd of December that it had made the difficult decision to ban all trans girls from its groups, including the Rainbows, Brownies, and the Guides and the Rangers. The organization first allowed trans girls to join its scouting groups in 2017 after passing new guidelines aimed at supporting all girls and young women. However, it has since reversed those guidelines following detailed considerations in the wake of the Supreme Court's judgment determining that the 2010 Equality Act's definition of woman referred to biological sex only. All right, well, and you know, to be honest, I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, tell me if I'm lying here.
You are.
This is the natural result of people decategorizing everything.
What the
Of course this would happen.
What does that mean? Decategorizing? That makes no sense. What do you mean decategorizing everything? That statement makes no sense. Somebody will have to explain to me what that even means. Decategorizing everything. This is what happens when illiterate people talk about things.
Happen.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is a nonsensical term. Decategorizing everything. Yes. Nothing has a category anymore.
So if you have you know, you have transgender people, right? And you say, okay, well, listen up. What is that? That's whatever. It's whatever you want. It's whatever you decide at that moment. If you decide tomorrow that you're a woman, then you're a woman. If you decide tomorrow that you're a man, then you're a man.
Yeah, that's how that works, right? That is totally how that works. People just decide one day, every single day they decide to be something else. And even if they did, what would that even change? That makes absolutely no sense. Categorization for the sake of categorization is also something that is just stupid.
There's no process, there's nothing.
Being trans is whatever you want. Also, what do you mean there's no process? There absolutely is a process.
It's whatever you say you are. It's only it is inevitable that this would be...
Yeah, more gender stuff. Hello, Gray, you don't want to be... Like, this person has no clue what they're talking about, and they had a 4-hour conversation with Nyara about this. This is very dishonest. Yeah, transgender is whatever. It's like, it's just whatever you want. There's no process at all. Absolutely not.
Be the result. With the lack of process, the lack of vetting, dude.
How would vetting look like even? What do you mean by vetting? Vetting for what? How would a vetting process even look like?
Maybe lack of vetting is the fucking issue in society. We just, for some reason, we just have decided to accept everybody without any sort of filter.
Okay, what sort of filter do you even propose? That makes absolutely no sense. What kind of filter would you want to have in place that is not in place already? Grey Yun Wannabe says lack of vetting, LMFAO. Okay, tell that to the doctors that gay kept me. Listen, maybe you just, I don't know. Like, what? This is stupid. There absolutely is a process in place. There's absolutely is vetting in place. I don't even know what this person wants. I don't even know what this person imagines being trans looks like. That I just go to any first clinic from the street and I say, okay, I'm trans. I would like to get a prescription for 50 tons of estrogen. Thank you very much.
And again, like this is the issue with it, is when you do that and you create a situation, well, it's just whatever you say you are, then obviously people are going to say, well, wait a minute, this is very abusable.
Yeah. Okay. Demonstrate the abuse. Okay. Demonstrate to me that the abuse takes place. Oh, you cannot because it's a made up thing. Thank you. I love this whole argumentation. Yeah. People are just going to uproot their entire life to abuse the system. Whatever this abuse is supposed to be. What kind of perks do people get from being trans, considering that trans people are the most attacked people in society right now? Trans people are literally the most attacked group, especially since Trump became president. What kind of perks do you get? How would you even abuse it?
You know what? Let's just go as hardcore as possible. Now none of you trans people can join. This is just a natural result of that.
No, it's not. That is stupid.
Obviously.
Obviously, of course. You don't even have to give any argumentation for these claims. It's like, obviously.
Because people don't want to deal with edge cases. People don't want to deal with it, right? Because you're going to have to assume that everyone's like that at that point.
What?
Because
what edge cases? What were the edge cases and what happened? What are you talking about? Like, I don't care for your made-up edge cases. This shit is that people told me on Tumblr in 2013. I know.
Because all it's going to take is like a bad actor. So I mean, like...
What bad actor? Like, data does not support the existence of any so-called bad actors. And yet people like this seem to invoke those magical made-up bad actors that just want to uproot their entire lives in order to abuse the system somehow. Whatever that means, unironically.
Here's the thing. Say that Girl Guiding did this. Okay, let's hear me out. Let's like construct like a hypothetical. All right.
Oh my God, it's gonna be one of those brain dead hypotheticals that this person is known for. Go ahead.
So, what do you think would happen if Girl Guiding said instead, like, listen, we had a case where, this boy just said that they were a girl to like join, the scouts or whatever. They did that. But they're kind of like they change their gender whenever they feel like. Whatever they feel like tomorrow. That's like the gender that they pick. And they want to join the scouts.
Do you know what would happen? Nothing. Nothing would happen. What is this hypothetical supposed to demonstrate? Literally nothing would happen.
What do you think would happen?
Nothing.
Girl Guiding said, okay, those people are banned. Sorry.
That would be stupid. I don't even know why there's a separation to Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts to begin with. Is there even any logical reason why there's such a separation? Hold on, I'm gonna Google. Why is there a separation into Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts? Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are separated primarily due to their origins in the early 1900s, which reflected traditional gender segregated societal roles. The Boy Scouts of America focused on outdoor wilderness survival, while Girl Scouts traditionally focused on community sewing and homemaking. Although now two distinct, often competitive organizations, modern changes have seen the BSA allow girls, while Scouts remain a girl-focused, girl-led environment. So there is no logical reason to make this separation to begin with. So there is literally no reason why the separation even exists. Which means that in this person's hypothetical, nothing would happen. Literally nothing would happen if some magical boy decided, every day I change my gender and I want to join the Girl Scouts. Or Girl Guides. Literally nothing would happen because the separation makes no sense to begin with. It's stupid. Who cares? Who cares if boys join the Girl Scouts? Like I'm gonna make this argument. I don't even care about the argument like about people being trans. Why wouldn't a boy be able to join the Girl Scouts, logically speaking? Why?
And so any trans person that hasn't gone through the process, they're banned. What do you think's gonna happen?
What is the process? Do you even know what the process is?
Think that the trans community is gonna be okay with that?
Oh,
You
I
really
just think the separation is stupid to begin with.
I think that they would be satisfied with that. Oh, okay. So there's like a process for which like you can determine if a kid is trans, whatever, hypothetically, right? And then a kid went through that process, and then we'd let them.
Who
in.
even cares about the trans argument here? The separation for two boys and girls and the scouts is stupid. Like there's no logical justification for it. There's none whatsoever.
But everyone else you can't join. Do you think they would be okay with that? Like, let's be real. Are they gonna accept that? Probably not.
No, because it's stupid.
And this is the issue. Like I've been saying this forever. This is the problem with the trans community. They don't have any sense of
what?
They have zero sense of
what? To conforming to the status quo mindlessly? No, I guess not. I guess the trans community is not brainlessly just accepting the status quo as something that should forever be without any rhyme or reason. Go figure.
They have zero respect for normal society. That's the issue.
What the fuck does that even mean? Zero respect for normal society? Yeah, of course I have zero respect for normal society. Normal society is stupid. If everybody just lived by respect for normal society, then women would never have gotten the right to vote. What does that even mean? Rayon Wannabe says, I was always envious that Boy Scouts learn how to tie knots. There was a diagram in the Girl Scout room because at the other times it was used to by Boy Scouts. Guess what? You should just be able to join the organization that teaches the skills that you want to learn. And that's it. It should not be segregated. It should just be segregated by the skills that you can learn. If you want to learn sewing, cooking, or whatever, go join that. If you want to know how to do some survival crap, go join this. And you should be able to mix and match, of course. Mix and match. Because maybe you want to learn this particular skill, and then you want to learn that particular skill. It shouldn't be gendered at all, but of course, but it's the way of the normal society, I guess. All right, I guess it's just the way of normal society. Like if we just bow down to normal society, then I guess in the United States we'd have segregation still, because that was considered part of normal society. Having respect for normal society was to accept that there is segregation. Is this the society that we want to strive for? It's just, this person is just stupid.
Issue.
Yeah, I do not have any respect for normal society. Yeah.
No boundaries. Exactly. It's all or nothing. Right? And so when you create a situation like that, obviously where is it to go? Except, okay, we're going to take the maximalist, like, other side position now.
What is the maximalist other side position? Again, this is stupid. This is vague and stupid.
None of you can join.
Yeah, that should be the position, actually. Regardless of if anyone is trans or not. What's the problem? What is the argument against it?
Obviously, that would happen.
Yeah, and what is the argument against it? Apart from you saying that it's just normal in society.
You see this happening again in real time all across all aspects of gender.
Okay, give me an example.
Society, where people's positions have changed from before it being like, oh, okay, well, you say you're a girl, okay, well, let's see some process, like maybe like we'll talk about it. We'll talk about you being in women's spaces after you get surgery, or after you've gone through the process for this amount of time. You've had psychological testing for this amount of time. Then we can talk about it, right? It went from that to I could.
Who are the we that are gonna talk about it?
Say I'm a man tomorrow, and I'm a man. Do you see my point, chat?
No, I don't see your point. Your point is stupid.
Do you see my point?
No.
Of how all of the boundaries have been fucking demolished.
Okay, why do those boundaries exist in the first place? Have you even wondered, have you ever stopped to consider why those boundaries exist in the first place? Were you ever curious about these things? Did you care to examine those boundaries and even think if they make any kind of sense at all?
Demolish, crush, toss aside, where they don't care anymore about
What? About what exactly?
they don't care about people, reasonable people.
If I don't want to exclude people from certain groups for no reason at all, then I just don't care about people, apparently. If I think that certain gender divisions just make absolutely no sense, you know what? Then I guess I just don't care about people. I'm a scumbag. This is so weird. Like, it's the same with the toilet crap. When I went to high school, my high school had no division to women's bathroom or a men's bathroom. Everybody could go to any bathroom they wanted, and there was not a single incident. In fact, when the school decided to divide the bathrooms, everybody was upset. Everybody was upset. I think the teachers were upset. The students were upset. I think to a degree, parents were also upset. Nobody liked the idea of just splitting the toilets and on the lines of gender, because that just inconvenienced people. Suddenly, instead of just going to whatever bathroom you want, people had to go to bathrooms on different floors. And that was just inconvenient compared to what was the case before. People didn't like it. There were individual stalls in every single bathroom, and people just, if they wanted to do their business, they went to the individual stalls. And outside of the stalls, girls and boys from high school just met, chatted, chilled, and nobody had a problem. Literally nobody had a problem. There was not a single problem with it. The only thing that created kind of a problem for school is that both boys and girls just smoked in those bathrooms together. But the whole topic of segregating these spaces is just stupid. There's no reason for it.
That just want to live their lives with how things were. A reality that has been known since.
Yeah, it's like we just want to live the reality that has been known. We just want to chill we just want to chill in a pre-existing reality with slavery, with segregation. You know, why not? It was a known reality, right? Why do you want to change it? Why do you want to destroy the barriers? Why do you want to wreck things up when normal people just want to live with the things that were known? Gray on Wannabe says, it's seen as nearly hysterically left-wing crazy to have gender-neutral bathrooms. There was one gender-neutral bathroom at a uni I visited back in 2013, and it was a big deal. Yeah, it's stupid. Same with changing rooms. There are many countries, there are many places where you just have a bunch of individual stalls with changing rooms. Everybody goes to their individual stall and everything's okay. Okay? Because why is there such a weird assumption that women want to get naked around women and that's not a problem? Why is there an assumption that men just want to get naked around men and that there's no discomfort? Why is there this assumption that the only discomfort that exists can be between people of different genders? Why is there not a obvious assumption that maybe people just don't want to get naked in front of other people and they should just have the separate stalls and not the gender separation?
Since the dawn of time,
Since the dawn of time is a really silly argument.
They want to toss all of that aside. Any sort of respect for the majority of society,
yeah, the majority of society is stupid. Like, that's not democracy. Democracy is not when just a minority bows down to the majority. It is actually the duty of the government in a democracy to protect the rights of a minority in spite of what the majority wants. I'm sorry, democracy is not a mob rule.
They've completely changed things to where the minorities should decide everything.
Like, I'm sorry, it's not about minorities deciding everything. It's about minorities having rights. Like, the rights of people should not be decided by what the majority wants. Again, this is just silly.
Whoever's the most butthurt, whoever's the most sad, they should decide everything.
Yeah, because it's all about people being butthurt, right? Yeah, if you don't have basic human rights, then you're just butthurt. Rayon wannabe. Yeah, there's this weird assumption around same-sex nudity that never made sense to me. I was always super uncomfortable in gym class when we had to change, and I think it went beyond my gender and sexuality. Yeah, when I was a kid, there were certain trips on which I was expected to get naked and shower with kids from my class, and I just didn't want to. I refused. I made a big stink about it because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And then my teacher hated me, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, I made a whole stink about it.
The only reason that's been sustainable is because, to be honest, people in the West are really nice. Western culture people, we're very nice.
Yeah, we Western culture people are really nice. That's why we had slavery. That's why we had segregation. That's why we had giant racism against peoples from different the different sides of the world, because the Westerners are so nice. In fact, the Westerners are so nice that they just basically colonized most of the world at some point, because they were so nice. They did such nice thing in India. They did such nice things in Africa. The opioid crisis in China, that was so nice, right? That was such a nice thing for the Westerners to do. The opioid wars. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, the Westerners are just so nice, right? Yeah, am I right?
Compared to the rest of the world. Try doing that in fucking Pakistan.
Fuck me, man. The West is so nice compared to the rest of the world, yeah. And that's why the West fucked over the rest of the world.
Or Iraq. They'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, I wonder why such extremist people came to rule in certain Middle Eastern countries. I wonder if it has anything to do with the complete destabilization perpetuated by the West.
Somalia. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't even expect this person to know anything about history or geopolitics, because this person is clearly stupid.
So what I'm saying is, Americans, the West, Western culture, we're very nice and accepting people.
Ah, yes. Oh, yes. The history speaks for itself, for the niceness and how accepting the West is, right? Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just demonstrated by history, right?
And they abuse.
Who are they?
Our tolerance.
Who are they?
Weaponized it against us, basically.
Who are they?
And it's like I said, this overreach. The funny thing is if you were to, I'm old enough to remember basically everyone saying, yeah, gay marriage, sure, yeah, all right. Majority of people thought that. Whatever you think personally, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the majority of people. Majority of people were okay with it. Now,
no, there was also a time when the majority of people was not okay with it. Before they became okay with it. Do you remember that time?
People are like, I don't know about that. You remember how we said it? And then remember how they said
Yeah, people's opinions change. That's why you shouldn't base those things on what the majority wants or thinks, because the majority is fickle as fuck. Yeah, as demonstrated by what Grayon Wannabe said. I'm old enough to remember Obama being anti-gay marriage, dipshit. Yeah, exactly. What happened before society became more amicable to the idea of gay marriage? Oh yeah, they were against it. And that is exactly why you don't base those things on what the majority wants.
It was a slippery slope. And you guys said it wasn't? Yeah, I don't know. Drag Queen Story Hour? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Why? Why don't you know about that? Because you don't like the sound of it? Give me an argument against the Drag Time Story Hour. Give me a logical argument, apart from men that dress as women are icky. Oh, kids should not know that certain gender norms are bullshit, and maybe it should not be so horrible for a man to dress like a woman. Why don't you know about it? What's wrong with it? Drag Time Story Hour is not inherently sexual. So what's wrong with it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
We need a polite society like Japan is polite. Well, Japan is Japan. America is America. I don't think America has to be Japan. It's just people have discovered basically the kindness of the West and have used it against us in every.
Okay, first of all, this statement makes no sense because trans people in the West are part of the West. Trans people in the West are not some outsiders that came into the West and abused the West's kindness. So this whole line of argumentation just makes absolutely no sense. Second of all, the West is not kind at all. The West is riddled with racism and intolerance. It's just nonsensical.
Fucking way. And if you think about it, if you really think about it, it's so true. They've used.
Who are they?
I'm speaking as an American specifically, and you know, maybe you can speak for your own country if you're from a different country, but as an American, they've weaponized our niceness against us, our kind nature.
Who weaponized your kind? You're not kind, by the way.
As Americans, they've completely used it against us. Oh, we need money because we got attacked by this other country and they're very big bad. And like, you care about us, right? You care about the rest of the world, right? You care about these innocent people being hurt, right, America?
Holy shit. Is he actually talking about Ukraine right now? No fucking way. No shot this person's talking about Ukraine right now. No shot. This person's just saying that Ukraine expecting America to fulfill its obligations as an ally, that's just abusing the West being nice. No way. No way did this person just say that. What about the Budapest Memorandum? You know what that is? Leaflet? Do you know what the Budapest Memorandum was? You know, when Ukraine got rid of all of its nuclear weapons, and in return, the United States as well as Russia said that they would respect Ukraine's border integrity. How's that? Like, there's just no way that this person just say that they are abusing our kindness as Americans because they say we were attacked by this big bad country and you care about people and you have to save us. Wow. Thanks, fake Alec Cal Parker. I see that you've been watching me play Code Veronica. This is so ridiculous.
Give us more money, otherwise people are gonna die.
Holy shit. This person is talking about Ukraine. This person is talking shit about Ukraine.
Oh, you know, American economy is so good. You can give money to people that have nothing. Oh, you know, this country sucks really bad and people want to move to, How
about fulfill your obligations as allies if you're so nice? Okay, give a fuck about the obligations that you made. How's that? How is that?
Get out of there because it's bad. Like, you're gonna let them in, right, America? They've completely weaponized this against us. Rana says, the problem I see with them...
This is so stupid. This person has no clue what they're talking about and just speaking out of their ass completely.
Taking the maximum counter.
Like, this actually pissed me off, the whole... Oh yeah, Ukraine, because let's face it, the person is talking about Ukraine. They did not use the word that they did not say it's Ukraine, but it's Ukraine. What a joke.
Is that it starts creating a culture where that maximum counter attitude becomes a norm. Right now, it's trans issues and immigration issues, but this could easily expand to maximum with other things. So I'm not really a fan of the maximum position on things. It's like I said, I'm a moderate. I've never lied about that.
You're just an idiot. You're not a moderate. You're an idiot. You have no clue about any political topic. You just talk out of your ass. You just talk about what feels correct and incorrect. Fake Alec Cal Parker says, my sense is we should help Ukraine because we put Ukraine in that situation and it's a way for us, for the US to redeem ourselves for all the regime changes we've done. Thoughts on my stance, Lucy? More than one sentence. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the United States is very, how should I say, incompetently attempting to do another regime change in Iran this time. It's not working out, though. Grayun Wannabe says, I'm a moderate. I'm okay with some people dying so long as I don't feel personally threatened by their deaths. True.
I've told you guys straight up that, you know, as much as everyone likes to say that I'm an alt-right turbo...
No, I don't think you're a right-wing turbo. I don't think you are... I'm just... This is going to sound very mean. I don't think you know anything. I don't think you know enough about politics to be anything. I genuinely don't think that you have political stances. I genuinely don't think that you have any positions. I just genuinely think that you just ride with your feelings, your feels over reals, and you just say whatever comes to your mind at a given time, whatever feels okay to you at a given time. That's not really like you don't really have any specified political stances or specific like you didn't think about these things. I don't think you've actually clarified to yourself what your actual political beliefs are.
Bro, far right, Nazi authoritarian, KKK, literally like
Yeah, all the buzzwords. Thank you. Thank you for proving my point.
Shin Mecha Hitler. As much as they like to say that about me, it's just not true. I'm very moderate about things. I've never.
Okay, Yonabi says, I say this as someone who genuinely had to flee the country for my own safety. If people say they're apolitical or centrist, that's where they land because that's where the culture pushes them.
Never lied about that. And I definitely don't like the maximal position on things either. But I mean, that's where we're going. That's where the train is going.
Yeah, because you don't understand what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
Stop it. I'm just watching it. I'm literally just sitting here watching the train wreck. I see it coming. I know what's going to happen. I've known that this was going to happen for a long time. Believe the internet says all of those things clearly can't rely on the internet. Yeah. Well, the reason they call me...
Yeah, a hateful guy that hates trans people became president and suddenly everything's taking an anti-trans stance. What do you know? Who could have predicted? I consider myself center-left because I lack ambition for a revolution. Where do you think I land, Lucy? Depends. Like, there were very left-wing people in Poland that did not have an ambition for a violent revolution. When Polish people overthrew the oppressive regime in Poland, it was a bloodless revolution. There was no violence involved. And yet people within that movement considered themselves pretty left-wing.
That is because it's the only way for them to fight against me. It's like I said, like they won't fight against me with logic and philosophy. They won't fight.
Yeah, that is the most abused term. Those are the most abused terms I've ever heard. Logic. You don't use any logic in your argumentation. You just say whatever feels good. Saying that you don't respect normal society, saying that you don't against what the majority wants, that's not logic, and that's definitely not philosophy. I don't think you know anything about philosophy. So what are we talking about? Why should we counter your intuition with logic or philosophy? You don't engage in any of those things.
Fight me on it. So they basically have to, it's kind of like what Andrew Wilson said yesterday.
Holy shit, really? Really? This person is going to invoke Andrew Wilson? Okay, great. Andrew Wilson it is. Yeah, that person definitely uses logic and reason and philosophy. Andrew Wilson.
They have to basically poison the well. They have to go after you in, whatever ways possible to
imagine unironically invoking Andrew Wilson and feeling good about it.
At you so that they don't even have to fight you in the first place. I mean, look what happened with Nyara. Look at how many people were mad at Nyara for even talking to me.
Andrew Wilson.
Which is why, as much as you guys dislike Nyara, I at least commend them on being able to speak.
Them, because of course, continuous misgendering, of course.
Have a conversation because no one else will. Well, actually, I have another person that's been messaging me asking, what do you guys think? Should I talk to them? I've had another person on the left that wants to have a conversation with me about trans stuff, apparently. And maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to talk to this person about trans stuff. What do you say? Should I talk to this person about trans stuff? Should we have a conversation about trans stuff?
The smaller VTuber, why bother? It helps me to hone my skills. Am I the only one that thinks that? I don't know.
Hone my skills. Holy moly. Hone my skills.
Maybe I just have a gamer mentality. I'm just a gamer mentality. The more I play, the better I get. The more I play without giving up, the better I get, the stronger I get. Stella Montes lose 10 rounds in a row.
I agree with Kyle Parker about the puberty blockers.
Out with big loot, learn all of the fighting. Learn how to position, learn how to peek, learn how to rotate, learn everything. And I might die over and over and over again, but as long as I don't Alt F4, I'm still learning, I'm getting stronger.
Okay. Oh my God.
Do it for Charlie. I think about that all the time, Dark Knight, David. Anyway, it's like I said, so in conclusion,
This is so pathetic.
and for what I've been saying is that this is the natural progression. This is the natural progression of the overreach, basically.
What is the overreach?
And to be honest, I would be against this anyway. And this might be a hot take. Well, not here, but this is probably a hot take on the internet as a whole. Not here. Here, you guys will agree with me on this, but I think this is a bad idea in general because again, I don't subscribe to the idea of trans kids because I think they don't know enough. I think that trans kids do exist.
Yeah, of course. Trans kids don't know enough to know who they are fundamentally. Well, then, do they know that they are cis?
They'll say that, oh, you don't think trans kids exist, Leaflet? No, I think they exist. I just don't know if they're trans or not. There's too much societal pressure, too much parental pressure, too much.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I believe trans kids exist. I just don't know if they're trans or not. So you don't believe that trans kids exist, first of all. Second of all, demonstrate the parental pressure. Demonstrate all that pressure. You just claim there is this magical pressure.
Too much propaganda, too many psyops.
What psyops? What propaganda? Again, this person is not engaging in logic or philosophy. This person is just engaging in conspiracy.
That and kids are too impressionable, too malleable. Their mind
and sloganeering. I love it when people just engage in sloganeering and conspiracy theorizing. I love it.
So scientifically speaking, when and this is why grooming exists, by the way. You know how they say grooming? The fact that the word grooming exists is basically proof of what I'm saying.
No, it's not. You're stupid. You're just saying things. The fact that the word idiot exists is the proof of that what I'm saying is correct. Okay? Your behavior just proves that the fact that the word idiot exists is perfectly valid and good. There you go. I just did what you did.
Is that kids are very, they have a lot of neuroplasticity. It's the reason they learn stuff faster.
Neuroplasticity.
Pick up on culture faster. Kids really take in a lot more than we would think. So
that's not demonstrated with anything. Again, feels over reals. Oh, I just feel that children are super malleable and that's why they just they just want to be trans because they're so malleable. Yeah, you haven't demonstrated anything. You just made a bunch of unsubstantiated claims. Again, there's no logic in this. There's no philosophy, quote unquote, in this. You're just saying things and you just assert them as true.
And of course, there's varying degrees of this, but I worry that a lot of kids are being kind of pushed into it.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about. Demonstrate it. Demonstrate the phenomenon of children being pushed into it
by people, and then they have a sunk cost fallacy at the end. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Is that,
you know what? I think that there's a lot more trans children there. I can play that game too. There are actually a lot more trans children that we see right now, but they're being pressured into being cis, and they're just this sunken cost fallacy that's at play here. They say, I've been living as cis so long, I might as well just repress and continue. Yeah, I can play that game too. I can use the exact same argumentation to demonstrate that actually there should be far more trans people, there should be far more trans kids. But they're all just being pressured by society to never coming out and to just repress and live as cis. I can do that. I can provide no evidence for that and just say that as fact. It's easy to say things. It's so easy to say things.
There's a lot of societal pressure for it, and then
there's a lot of societal pressure actually for just conforming to what's normal. And ironically, there's a lot of pressure for that. So actually, it's far easier to make my argument than this person's argument. There's a ton more pressure to just conform to what's normal.
If you're like a girl who's like slightly tomboy, you're a girl who's tomboyish, you like guy things, or you're like a guy.
You're going to be pressured not to be those things. You're going to be pressured to act more feminine. You're going to be pressured to just conform to return to normalcy.
Little boy and you like girl things, then it's like, oh, you must be trans then. And then they're like, oh, if you like dresses, you must be trans. Oh, you
Yeah, demonstrate that society reacts like that to those things. Like, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, there's so much trans acceptance across the board in society.
you like to play with I don't know, trucks or whatever. I don't know, whatever. You like to play with those things. You like cars. You like to fix cars. Oh, you must be a boy.
Yeah, I love those made up scenarios that you just created in your head. I love those made up scenarios that never happen, but they help your argument. Amazing. Amazing.
I think like this kind of seeds in the mind, like that entire route. And I'm not saying that everyone is like that, obviously, but
Thanks. Very gracious.
I think for some people, especially, and you see this issue with people that are kind of they're kind of atypical when it comes to their mentality, autistic, other mental conditions, like compounding factors, right?
Mental
And these
conditions.
compounding factors lead to more impressionability, which allows them to be groomed into a certain ideology, certain thoughts on themselves, right? And I think the idea is that when it comes to kids, it's better to not really expose them to like sexual things like that, because they're most impressionable when they're young. And of course, like I said, there's like there's a variance when it comes to like the level that a kid is impressionable. Obviously, it's variance with all the compounding factors.
By the way, being on the spectrum is not classified as a mental condition, just so you know. Like, it is very telling that this person used the term mental condition when describing people on the spectrum.
Anyway, my point is, I don't know if the kids are actually trans. And
Yeah, it's not your job. I don't care if you know. Who cares if some random person on the internet knows or does not know if a child is trans? Greyun Wannabe says, autistic people are too stupid and gullible to know their own gender. Amazing. Never heard that one before. Not like it's literally baked into current psychiatric practice.
And there's a lot of cases of detransitioners. This is not an uncommon phenomenon. There are people who have this is not an. There's a lot of cases of detransitioners.
A lot of cases of the transitioners, huh? Okay, let's look it up. What is the percentage rate of people detransitioning? Is it a lot in the US? Here we go. The consensus among researchers is that permanent detransition is a rare outcome rather than a common one. So no. This is again complete made up bullshit.
This is not an uncommon phenomenon.
Yeah, it is an uncommon phenomenon, actually, according to data, according to actual logic. Okay, you can make I can make up an issue all day long as well. I can make shit up all day long as well.
People who have done the whole thing. You've had women who have chopped off their boobs, basically in pursuit of like, oh, everyone said that I'm trans. I like.
Oh yeah, everybody said that I'm trans. Yeah, of course. Many people say this.
Stuff. So obviously, I must be trans. They cut off their boobs. They take hormones, or
Yeah, I'm off of HRT right now because I don't have enough money for it.
their voice is deeper.
Does that mean that I'm some detransitioner? No, I'm not.
And then they hit like they hit the part of life around your 20s when your mind kind of becomes more rigid, and then they're like, oh
Yeah,
fuck,
your mind does not become more rigid in your 20s. What is this statement? Okay, I'm gonna go there. Does the human brain become more rigid in your 20s? The human brain does not become rigidly frozen in your 20s. No, it does not become more rigid. There you go. Another stupid thing. Another stupid assertion based on feelings alone.
I made a mistake, right? And now you can't do a lot. You completely fucked your life forever, basically. And people will say like, oh, it's reversible, but is it really?
Yes, a lot of it is. Yes, really.
Issues with sterility, lack of fertility.
A lot of it is reversible as well. You go to fertility clinics and they help you. You don't know what you're talking about.
Secondary sex characteristics that are obviously irreversible. I mean, guys, riddle me this.
What?
If trans medicine is so reversible, then why do trans people sound like that? Why do they get so many surgeries to like make their chest look more masculine? Why is that the case? If it's so reversible, like, so if you have, if a FTM person has to get
What the fuck what is this? What are you asking?
their boobs removed, then through like, you know, a surgery, and people are so upset about like their chest scars, how is that reversible? You know what I mean? Like no one would ever complain about it, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. People make decisions about surgeries. Cis people make breast removal surgeries. What's your point? And some of them regret it.
Am I wrong? This is a genuine question, actually. Well, no, is the penis removal reversible? Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the secondary sex characteristics, right? Because when you hit puberty, there are secondary sex characteristics that both, you know, it has to do with the sexual dimorphism of the human species. So, like, because of that, like during puberty, there's a reason why during puberty, there are sexual differences that occur. If it's so, and see, that's my concern.
What's your concern?
Concern is that a lot of the detransitioner people, you know, who knows like how much of it was them being influenced into doing it. Feels like a whole trans thing is a backdoor of.
Also, you don't know. There's a very small amount of detransitioners to begin with, and a lot of them detransition, which has been established due to pressure from society, actually, due to lack of tolerance, due to lack of funds, due to lack of acceptance. But you don't care about that.
Legalizing child mutilation. I don't know about that. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, okay, I'll just tell you like how I really feel about this.
Yeah, I know. You only talk about how you feel. You don't present any facts, stats, data, nothing. You just talk about how you feel.
I actually do think that the people who are saying that kids should be trans and that they should be
Yeah, nobody says that kids should be trans. Nobody says it. That's not how that works at all.
You know, should be able to receive like, you know, HRT treatments and
What does that even mean? Should be trans?
puberty blockers and all of these like, you know, surgeries at like 16 for like certain surgeries. The people that believe that, I honestly think that they think that they're doing a good thing. They actually think that they're being nice. And I think that has to do with if you were to ask me like what I think about it, it's probably because there are trans people that probably loathe their secondary. I mean, this is just obvious. This is just the truth. There are trans people that loathe their secondary sex characteristics because they hit puberty and they had to go through that. And so they hate that. So they're like, well, if it were me, I wish that didn't happen. Therefore, we should fix that for future trans kids. I think that's like their line of reasoning. I don't think it's nefarious. It's not really nefarious. I just think it's short-sighted. Does that
Why? Why is it short-sighted?
make sense? Dysphorics versus trans people? Dude, I don't even know what... I'm gonna be real. I don't even know what trans means anymore. Like,
Yeah, but you're stupid. You're stupid. I'm sorry, I cannot help you if you're stupid.
because like before, trans meant dysphoric people, but like we've kind of removed that,
What is diasporic? Dysphoric. What the hell is diasporic?
haven't we? Actually, I don't know. I don't
Also, no, it did not mean that ever. It never meant people with dysphoria. It always just meant people who don't identify with the gender assigned to them at birth. That was always the case.
know what the fuck that means anymore, to be honest. You say ignorance while I say malice. It's the same lack of malice in the action argument. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, I'm capable of that line of thinking, right, Ron? I don't think it's really, well, for most people. I'd say most people. I'm sure there's probably some fucking psychos. There's probably some psychos like in their basement fucking I don't know, jacking it to egg cracking or whatever. I'm sure there's people that are like
What?
that. But I don't know. I don't think that's everybody. I think a lot of I think a lot of them are, they actually think that they're doing like a good thing, for real.
Okay.
I just don't think they've really thought through it. Either
Have
that
you?
or they don't care. Either they haven't thought through it, or they believe it. This is you know, this might be another thing that they believe is well, if you and I'm just trying to guess their argument here. Again, I don't know if this is the argument that they would make, but I would assume that this would be the argument that they would make. Well, in their head, if they were to be honest
Yeah,
with
of course, you're gonna make things up and assume that's exactly what people think.
themselves, I think they would say, well, you know what, detransitioners, too fucking bad. You fucked up, you're stupid, you made a bad mistake. Why should we affect the people who are actually trans for that reason. I think that's what they would say. Now, the angle that I take on it is that children are fucking stupid and they can't make decisions for themselves. Therefore, we should follow that logic.
Yes, they can. Children can absolutely make a lot of decisions when it comes to their health.
For the same reason that children, you cannot have with children because of them being.
I don't know why this person went to the example of having sex with children, but okay, amazing. I don't know what's with VTubers and obsessing over the topic of having sex with children, but I'm not gonna draw conclusions, okay? I'm just gonna steer clear.
Incapable of comprehending a life-altering decision. That's the logic that we use, correct? Why doesn't that also apply to the trans thing? That's kind of my thought.
Yeah, because there's clearly a difference between thinking about your own identity and having sex with children. But I guess to a typical VTuber, that's all the same. Typical right-wing VTuber. I should actually do this distinction between, because there are a lot of pretty normal VTubers. I should not.
I feel like you can't really make a proper argument.
I know you cannot make a proper argument. I've noticed.
Addressing that truth, right?
What truth? I'm sorry, you have not stated any truth. You just compared thinking about your identity to fucking children. You haven't made a point. You haven't made any profound truths.
The big issue is that someone is just lost to them. You know, Owen, you're probably not wrong, but I don't know. I don't think most people are like that, to be honest. There probably is. And see, and you know what? Actually, the fact that you said that, LOLN, is actually perfect. Let me read what LOLN says. The big issue with some is you lost them just now when you said they can't have with children, you know?
I'm sorry. Trans people are not the ones that go to that topic time and time and time again. It's you. You brought it up.
They can't.
Nobody else.
Thing with children, right?
I'm sorry, it's VTubers usually with an avatar, with a childish avatar like yours, that very strangely always bring up things regarding children.
I think the fact that you say that illustrates my entire point, that the entire movement of trans has been so fucking diluted to mean nothing.
No, only if you're an idiot. I'm sorry, only if you're stupid.
Like, what does it even mean anymore?
It means that you don't identify with the gender that was assigned to you at birth. That's it. It's not complicated. Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty!
It's like they've let so many fucking psychopathic people lead their movement.
Okay, give me an example. Give me an example of those psychopathic people. Projection, by the way. Give me examples of those people. Just go psychopaths.
It's unreal. You know, I don't know.
I know it's unreal. It's not real, in fact. It's about choice and education. I mean, it should be the default obvious stance, but apparently in the minds of many, it's not. Apparently not.
The point of all of this, before I dare go around in a circle and go for another lap on this entire thing, I'm just going to conclude here and say that the point of this is that
you're not making any points. Do not pretend that you're making. You're talking a lot, but you're not really making any points.
There needs to be, at the very minimum, if we're even going to talk about trans stuff at all, you're going to need to have standards.
Yeah, standards exist. Just because you don't know about them, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. I'm sorry, but your ignorance on the subject is not my cross to bear. Re-educate yourself on what standards exist and how they function before you open your mouth about them not existing.
You gotta have standards. It's the only...
Crayon wanna be Brianna Wu, but she would agree with this VTuber. And no one really let her lead so much as she temporarily put a leadership position.
The only way to actually function in society harmoniously is to have standards. Otherwise, you're just infringing on everybody's... You're infringing on society.
What the fuck does that mean, you're infringing on society? You're just like people of color infringe on society by demanding not to be discriminated against, right? I guess.
There needs to be process, there needs to be standards in order to...
Those exist.
If you're going to have people that want to exist in women's spaces that are not biological women, then you're going...
There's no such thing as a biological woman. Woman is not a biological term. It's just so... Again... time and time and time again, I hear the same tired, stupid arguments, brainless arguments.
To have strict, incredibly
There's no such thing as a biological woman.
strict standards for like who can do that, so that you can avoid the situation of predators.
Okay, so far you've said that it's a free-for-all, that it's a bad situation. How many predators have we had? Give me the cases. Give me the specific cases. Give me the studies. Give me the data on all those predators. Oh, you cannot. That's not a thing. Thanks.
Obviously. Because if you say anybody can do that, guys, if there's one thing about human nature that's always true, is that
Yes, this is this person using logic and philosophy in action.
there are going to be line steppers that are going to abuse the rules. In every
Okay, demonstrate it. Demonstrate those people that just abuse the system, quote unquote. Gray and wannabe, cis women are never predators, is a belief you have to at least entertain to make these kinds of arguments. It's so hollow.
single fucking thing. Video game, there's cheaters in video games. There's people who
Yes, completely uprooting your life in order to change your gender identity is comparable, in fact, to cheating in video games. Thank you. You really strain your logic circuits with this one. You have really outdone yourself with this comparison. Well done. Well done.
who steal. There's people who steal stuff. There's people who abuse the system, like Snap EBT. Like it's just a fact of humanity, and understanding that part of human nature lets you understand why we need to have those guardrails, why we need to have that kind of
Yeah,
game.
you're saying that we don't have them right now. So demonstrate all of the predators. It should be so easy for you. If we don't have standards, because you said that we need the standards, that if those guardrails have not been established, give me all the stats on all those predators. They should be an epidemic by now, right? We should be we should be dealing with a complete flood of predators wanting to abuse the system.
Anyway, moving on. Nyara's response: serious question, who does this help? Literally excluding young girls from activities just because they're trans. This is only contributing to the mental health issues that trans people face due to being ostracized.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. Yeah, absolutely true.
this helps out the young girls that don't want to worry about that don't want to deal with a boy that's confused.
Yeah, that's not happening. You just assume. You just assert that's a thing as well. You just assert that's a thing. Again, I can assert things all day long as well without substantiating it in any way and call it logic and philosophy.
Who knows? We don't know what that person is. We don't know.
Well, if we don't know, then why do you assume? Whoops.
So again, they're taking the maximum position of, well, we're going to protect the majority. Because if you don't want to have rules...
What do you mean protect the majority? How do you even know what the majority wants in this case? How do you even know that majority of cis girls do not want to be in those spaces with trans girls? How do you know that? You don't. You just assume it.
Don't want to have rules. You don't want to define anything. Then you know what?
That's bullshit. That's complete non sequitur. That's this complete nonsensical argument. What do you mean no rules, not defining anything? Yeah, there are definitions. There are clear definitions. Just because you don't understand them, it does not mean that they don't exist.
Let's take the safe route. And the safe route is none of you can join.
That's not a safe route. That's a bigoted route. There's nothing safe about this route because it will not stop abuse. And you cannot even demonstrate any abuse happening along the lines that you've presented.
You see my point?
No.
You see my point about gatekeeping?
No, I don't see your point. Your point is stupid, extremely stupid.
Gatekeeping and having strict rules is, if you don't have that, then the rule is just going to have to be bigger. You're going to have a bigger rule that is less inclusive. This is a battle between specifics and broadness, basically.
No, it's not.
Anyway, yes.
Yes.
And again, like, even if you were to make this argument, even if you were to use this logic and say, well, you're excluding young girls from activities because they're trans, this is contributing to the mental health issues of trans people. Well, what about the mental health issues with the little girls? The little girls that say, I don't want to.
Yeah, you're not Present to me the mental health crises that these girls go through because they have to be with trans girls in one space. Give me those cases. Give me that data, not made up stuff. Okay, give me real data, real cases.
Sleep in the same room as a guy. What if you have a girl that's like,
I'm sorry, I don't care about individual cases. Give me the data on this. If that's a real phenomenon.
she's religious about it, and she specifically doesn't want to sleep in the
Oh yeah,
room
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about individual people with their individual delusions about religion. No, I don't care.
with a guy. What about their mental health? Now you're making now you're making an issue between two people's mental healths, right?
No.
While you're empathizing with the abuser. Yeah, exactly. I know, Earls. I know to say that. But then I'd say, well, what about I'm gonna move on to J.K. Rowling's post. So
Yeah, you are literally siding with the abuser, yes. Quite literally.
J.K. Rowling post answers. It helps girls. It tells girls that they have the right to things of their own. It tells girls that they have a right to say no. It reminds girls that the desires of boys do not supersede their feelings, their rights, or their discomfort, or their safety.
So in other words, J.K. Rowling does not believe trans people are a thing. J.K. Rowling is completely illiterate on the subject of gender. There you go. Hope that helped.
Yes. Totally agree. Because again, like, what did I say earlier about, so what if there's a guy who goes, I want to, say there's like a, I don't know.
Okay, what if there's a vicious lesbian? What if there's a vicious lesbian that just wants to enter girls' spaces and rape everybody? Like, I can make up ridiculous stuff all day long as well, right? What if there are cis lesbians that just want to enter cis heterosexual lesbian people, women's spaces, and just abuse all of them all day long? What then? This is stupid.
Let's, for the sake of argument, how old can you be in the Scouts, guys? As not like an instructor, like as like an actual.
Michael Parker says, I'm willing to believe that the majority of young girls either do not understand trans kids or think that girl was born in a boy's body. No, she should have been born in a girl's body. It's not fair. Thoughts on? Yeah, I think so. I think people are not little bigots like this person would like to believe.
Actual Scout. What's the age?
Also, I'm gonna repeat this again because it feels like I've said it when nobody was watching. The division by gender in Scouts is stupid. There's no justification why Scouts are divided by gender. No whatsoever.
Range of that. I don't know. I wasn't in any of those things. 18. Okay. So we have to now construct, right, chat, now we have to construct a situation that is possible within this. Okay? Hypothetical.
Yeah, how about Scouts should not be divided by gender? How's that?
What if a 17-year-old boy goes, I'm feeling like a girl now. Tomorrow they're like, I want to sign up to be in the Scouts. Can they join?
Yeah, they should, because I don't really care for this Scouts bullshit. It's stupid. The fact that it's divided to begin with just feels stupid to me. No, regardless of being trans or not. Straight up, a boy should just be like, yeah, I'm a boy and I want a girl, join the Girl Scouts, and should be able to join. Why not?
Well, why not?
Yeah, why not? Give me a logical argument. Use your logic.
Why not? According to the logic of trans people can join the Scouts, why shouldn't they?
Yeah, why shouldn't they? Exactly. Give me your logical argument as to why they shouldn't.
If what a trans person is a person who decides that they're trans, then how are they disqualified?
Good question. Why were they? Like, you're not doing us the slam dunk that you think you are, because the division by gender is stupid when it comes to Scouts to begin with. Important reminder that you should read, Lucy. The average person doesn't change their gender on a whim. It's usually thought in depth with usually a lot of denial. Yeah, I know, but this person's making made up arguments. But you know what? I'm gonna go further. I don't really care about gender identity in this case. The division by gender of Scouts is just stupid. A boy identifying as a boy should just say, yeah, I want to do what the Girl Scouts do with them. And he should be allowed. I don't care. Like, the whole division was made by sexist grounds to begin with. And it's completely stupid.
So what if the girls now
the only difference is that apparently Boy Scouts learn outdoors activities and Girl Scouts learn how to knit. and cook or something. What if a boy wants to learn how to cook?
Or like, and what are you gonna do? Are you gonna police their clothes? Are you gonna say, okay, well, the boy is gonna wear a dress?
Do Girl Scouts even wear dresses? Also, why shouldn't boys be able to wear dresses? That's a whole different question, isn't it? Girl Scouts generally do not wear dresses. Whoops. The Girl Scout uniform does not include a dress. Whoops. Yeah, I think gender division will reinforce to this boys' rules and girls' rules leads to more. Yeah, I think so.
Or what if they don't? What if they, you know what? You don't have to do that, right? According to them, that's not even a necessity. You don't even have to dress up you don't have to dress up. You don't have to shave. You don't have to even remotely act like a woman, because like, what are you stereotyping what women
What does
are?
it mean to act like a woman? Serious question. What does it mean to act like a woman? I would like Leaflet to address this.
Then, right? So what they're gonna do? What if a man goes, I'm feeling like a woman and I'm gonna join the Scouts. 17 years old. I'm gonna join the Scouts with all the girls.
And why? Okay, so sure. And
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm literally gonna just wear the same thing that I wear now. I'm gonna wear the same everything. I'm gonna act the same, but I'm a girl.
okay. So what? Give me a logical argument why that's wrong. Give me a logical argument without an appeal to feelings.
How do you combat that?
Why would you combat that? Wait, hold on. Why would you combat that? Give me a logical argument as to why this should be combated in the first place. Like, why? This is so stupid. Why would we want to combat that? This is stupid. Oh my god. That's what I'm talking about. Like, give me a logical argument here.
Are you gonna tell them they can't join? Well, why not?
Exactly. Good question. Why not?
By what standard can they not join?
Exactly. Those are actually unironically good questions. Why not? What's that? Yeah. It's a good. You're asking the questions, even though you're thinking that you're cooking. You think that you're doing this slam dunk. But yeah, those are legitimate questions to ask.
That's my point. Is you have to account for that possibility. And they'll say, oh, that never happened.
What's wrong with that possibility? You have given the most tame of examples. You have given the most nothing burger of examples possible. Socialix says, should say give an argument that doesn't strictly fall under preference or of aesthetics. Yeah, exactly. Like, why? I'm not even, as again, Scouts should not be divided by gender to begin with. A boy should just be able to say, hey, yeah, I want to do the activities that Girl Scouts do together with them. And again, I have to ask the question, what would be so wrong with that? Why should that even be forbidden to begin with? What's wrong with that? This is...
happens, but it can. But it can happen.
Yeah, it can. It should, in fact. I think it should happen.
And I know that people will abuse the rules.
How is this abuse of any rules? This is silly. What rules are being abused? Who is harmed by this? Who is being harmed by it?
But yeah, I totally agree with J.K. Rowling on this one.
Yeah, because you're stupid. I hate to say that again and again, but
100% agree with this. This is the natural result of of the entire gender movement.
Yeah, because you're just a brainlet. You're sheep. You don't use logic. You don't use philosophy.
And moving away from structure, moving away from procedure, and going...
Yeah, we're not moving away from structure. We're not moving away from procedure. You're just too stupid to see the procedure. You're just too stupid to see the structure. That's not my problem. And it should not be the structure of any other trans person that you don't see the structure.
Going into feelings.
That's ironic coming from you. That is so ironic coming from you. That you started every single sentence from I feel, and you've demonstrated and given no data, no actual cases. You've been talking about how you feel about things for 30 minutes.
Taking all of the logic out of it. Completely
yeah, please don't abuse the word logic. You haven't utilized logic even once in this video. You have not made an illogical argument once in this whole video.
Eviscerating what trans even means?
Yeah, we all know what trans means. Okay, calm down. This is silly. How is it logic to say, yeah, the majority wants this, I think. I don't really have any data to demonstrate it, but I just know that the majority wants this. And also, we should just strive for what's normal society, whatever that means.
They do this with everything, by the way. Like all fucking language. They've eviscerated what racism means. They've eviscerated.
Of course. Of course. I would like to hear the justification of the evisceration of what racism. I would love to hear that argument. I would love for that argument to be made to me in a logical way and not a feels-based way.
Eviscerated what sexism means. They've eviscerated what oppression means. Like
Yeah, of course.
none of it means it. They've eviscerated what Nazi means. Like none of it means anything anymore.
Yeah, of course. I don't understand what these things mean, which means that they don't mean anything because I'm stupid. Come on.